Hello, thanks for joining. Today we're going to talk about edge propagation improvements in release 3.6 of ESPRIT TNG. This project came to being as a result of a direct request from the field to make it easier to select on edges on my solid. So we've added actually new propagation types. We've added all edges, tangent edges, planar edges, and also edges in a loop. And I'm going to show you how each one of these works. So first we're going to go ahead and use all edges. We activate it down here in the propagation. Unfortunately, we did not add it here yet to the UI. We will do that soon, and that will be released in the next release. But we thought there was still enough value to introduce this in 3.6. And all the user has to do is simply go through the options here and activate the edge propagation. So you can see here I have my new propagation types. And then also under loop propagation, we've added this edges and loops. So the first one we'll use is all edges. And what I'll do is I will select on a edge here, holding down, of course, the Shift key, and any connected edges will be grouped along with it. So you can see all the edges that are connected are also grouped. And it's grouping the edges. You can see there's actually 14 different items here. So it's actually finding the 14 edges. Okay, so the next propagation we'll talk about is tangent edges. As the name implies, any edges that are tangent to the selected edge while you're holding down the Shift key will also be grouped. What's nice here too is you can actually use the Control plus Shift to actually limit the selection between the edges. So let's activate our tangent edges. And I'm going to first just, for example, select up here, select this edge and holding down the Shift key. And you can see that all of the additional, say 16, the additional 15 edges are added to my group. So all these edges are tangent. But let's say I didn't want it to go all the way around. I wanted to limit it. So I can hold down the Control key, select this edge, hold down the Control key, select this edge as my two boundaries. Now hold down Control and Shift, and if I select this edge, you can see the propagation is limited to the two boundaries that I've selected. Next would be planar edges. So again, let's go ahead and activate that. Now, this will take into effect whatever the current orientation of my work plane happens to be, and it will basically group any edges that are planar to the selected edge. Again, taking into account the work plane. So we can, for example, select here, hold down my Shift key, and you can see, again, that those all planar edges are selected. Okay. Finally, it would be edges in a loop. And this one's cool. Let's go ahead. It's already activated here. Because what I can do here is I can select a particular loop and all the edges will be selected. So if I select this loop, instead of just, and of course I'm holding down the Control key, you can see I get 19 different elements because you're not actually selecting the loop, you're selecting the edges that belong in that particular loop. Well, thanks for joining. As always, if you have any questions, please let us know.